Hello grade 10s, here is a nice one. Simplifying rational expressions. Pause it and then screen grab and attempt it first so that if you make any mistakes you can learn from them. Alright, as well as try to be as swift, speedy as you can. Okay, right, so I'm going to start. We are adding rational expressions. It's like fractions that have denominators. When we add fractions, what do we want? We want to find what the LCD is. In this instance, we simply can't, isn't it? Right, so let's try to establish what our LCD is. So that one is already nicely set, so we don't need to change anything. Then we have x minus 2, 3 minus x. Then I can't do anything with this binomial because odd, even, so there's no common factor there. Then this one, if it was the only one in question 1, what would they need from you? They would need you to factorize it, isn't it? Then 6 is a number from grade 8. 9 factors of that are what? Are 6 and 1 or 2 and 3. In this instance, I'm going to take 3 and 2. Then we can talk about it when I refresh on what we did. So when I look at this now, I can see that this will form part of my LCD. What do I do with this one now? Do I change this one to be like this one or this one to be like that one? It's really up to you. Let's safely change that one. So what will I do there? I will multiply by a negative so that this becomes positive and that one becomes negative. So I will have an x minus 3. Then I still have my x minus 2 there. Okay. Right. So everything else remains the same. So x minus 3, x minus 2. Then this one remains the same. Right, so now I can add or subtract. How do I do this? I multiply everything by my LCD. Right. Depends how fast you are. If you know your work, you are going to, what did I do there now? I don't know what I did there. It's supposed to be a negative. If I multiply by this LCD, this side, this will cancel that. So I'm only going to be left with x minus 3, x minus 3. Then when I get here, I will be left with, if I multiply, this will cancel that. So I'll be left with x minus 2, x minus 2. If I multiply this side by this LCD, both these will cancel. So the only thing that I will be left with will be 3x minus 8. Then I cannot throw away my LCD. This is not equations. So I retain it. We'll talk about that just now. Then I go to my next step. After a long process of practicing, you should be able to do that quickly. I have a negative 3x and another negative 3x. So I have a negative 6x. Those two will give me a 9. Same thing here. I will have x squared minus 4x plus 4. Then that one. I still leave my LCD as is. Okay. Right, so I have x minus 2, x minus 3. Then I simplify further. All right. So unfortunately, we have to go the long route. If you are sharp, like those people who are serious about their mathematics, they would have long dealt with this. They would have written this in this format in this step that I'm doing. They would omit this step. Okay. So negative, positive, negative. Then this one remains. Then x minus 2, x minus 3. Then what happens at the top now? My x squared even out, isn't it? Then I have my negative 6x and I have a positive 7x. So it means I'll have a positive x. Then what are my numbers? Positive 9 and a negative 8. What will I have? A positive 1. Then I can write these as they are, or I can simply say, right, this was my LCD. Where did it come from? Okay, it came from there. All right. So I need to simplify it because I can't give an answer with brackets. So I'm going to have x squared. Then I have a negative 3x and a negative 2x. I have a negative 5x. Then I'll have a positive 6x. Then you would be done. Okay. Right. So something like this with my talking takes me 6 minutes. It should also take you about that, if not less, because you are not talking and explaining. So for 6 marks, you should safely do this under 6 minutes. Who needs my help here? Right, let's see who will need my help. Somebody needs to understand how did I move from 3 minus x to x minus 3. If I multiply by negative, this will be negative 3, and then this one will be positive x. Then if I switch them around, I'll have x minus 3. Then this negative will do what? Will have to go battle with that positive, and then it will become negative. Okay. Then what happened now? Right, so I skipped this first question line. So there is that LCD. Okay. X squared minus 5x plus 6x. Am I bad? Right, so you wouldn't need to crack your mind with it. So you'll just simply copy that LCD. Right, what else can I assist with? All right, let me assist with how do you move from this to this. What happens when I have a half plus 1 over 3 minus, let's say, 5 over 6? What will be my LCD there? My LCD will be 6, isn't it? And as you know, in fractions, what must we do? We must change each of these numbers into fractions that have the same base, isn't it? Then what do? We multiply by the by factors that will change the denominators of the other terms into 1. Then what will we have? We will have 3 over 6, which is the same as a half. Then we will have 2 over 6, which is the same as a third. Then this one we don't change because it already has a denominator of 6. So what did I do? I multiplied by a factor so that this becomes the same. So what am I doing now? I have simplified this by not putting the the LCD in each and every one of these because it was going to be long. Okay, it was going to be long. So all I do is to say, if I multiply the first one by my LCD, which is what? Which is x minus 2 and x minus 3. So I want you to focus on only one, then you'll apply it with the rest. So if I multiply this by my LCD, what happens now? I will have this rational expression. Then what happens? This one, I don't want to cancel over it. And that one, what will they do? They will disappear. So I'll be left with this one. Okay, so this is what I did. Now you may be confused and saying, now why is here he didn't just multiply by by 3? Because I didn't do this process of putting each one of these into that LCD. All right, so that's the only difference. So if I had done this, at the end I would have x minus 2 there, minus 2 minus 3 there. I would have x minus 2 minus 3 there, x minus 2 minus 3 there. Then in the next step, I would have to add all of them and put them under one LCD, because when we get here, what do? We simply say 3 plus 2 minus 5 over 6. Okay, that's what we would do. So that's the long and short of it. So you do this with this term, with this rational term, it will cancel that negative 3, and then you'll only have the negative 2 and that negative x negative 2, x negative 2. When you do this process by multiplying with this LCD here, that LCD will even out that one. All right, then let me see if there's anything else. Okay, I think maybe somebody will say, how do I move from that to that? Okay, this is question 1, guys, of algebra. That's why that that section is important. If I have x squared minus 5x plus 6, it comes from 2 brackets, isn't it? Those 2 brackets can have, what do I have there? I have a 1 times 6 or I have a 2 times 3. So this one I can use. I'll just show you now. If I have x minus 1, x minus 6, what will happen? I will have a positive 6, which is correct. I will have an x squared, which is correct. But what is going to happen when I do my FOIL now? The inners would be what? Would be negative 6x and negative x. And together they will give me a negative 7x, which I don't want. So you can help yourself and do this. Do all your permutations if you are not yet good by doing it in an instant. Do yourself 2 or 3 depending on the number. So the bigger the number, you're gonna have too many of these options. That's why it's important to practice, okay, your factors. Then the one that you don't need is the one that you're going to leave out. Then you do it there. So if you're doing this in your exam, scratch that when you're done, or erase if you've used a pencil. Okay, teachers don't want clumsy thing there, because some of you, what you do, you scratch here, you don't tell them that this is the correct one, or you just leave here and this one is correct, is incorrect. They can't mark this side, even if they can see it is correct. Okay, so just do what your teachers advise you to do. All right, we are here to help you, but we are not here to erase what your teachers are showing you. We are not competitors, we are collabs. All right, so let's look at our final answer. There it is. Okay, right, I hope you can practice one or two like this, or even use this one twice, so that you can get into the ring with such challenges. All right, okay, I hope that helps you. Thank you very much.